Hello class, it's Louis again. For this week's assignment, I decided to look more into Ms. Karen Horney because I believe her to have more to do with the development of modern day psychology than the textbooks give credit for. For this week, I looked up a video by Ms. Alina, who is a clinical psychologist and psychiatrist, on her YouTube channel, Perennial Psychology, and a brief overview of what we learned in class today was that Ms. Horney's definition of neurosis was different from Freud's, and she introduced the idea that psychology is different for different cultures, and the different cultures play different roles in psychology. For Freud, neurosis was more about destructive drives and was a result of impediments in the psychosexual development and other stages of the development. For Ms. Horney, neurosis was predominantly resulted from high anxiety as well as characterized by hyperrigidity and monotonous behavior. Also, I was really interested to find out or to realize that a lot of what Freud studied and experimented on was American culture and more Western civilization as opposed to Eastern European and just the other side of culture from a different part of the world, like Karen Horney. Um, the three uh, the three movements that we've learned in our reading this week were moving towards somebody, against somebody, or away from somebody or persons. These movements have a correlation of compliance, aggression, and withdrawal, respectively. And what was discussed in the video was essentially a reiteration of what we learned, as well as the idea that these three movements or psychological movements are actually all available to us at all times. So whether we move towards, away, or against somebody, it's sort of all tactics and strategies that we can implement. It is only when one of these tactics or strategies become the normal or tendencies or habit, and the other strategies are blocked entirely, that they become neurosis, or they can become categorized as neurosis as per Ms. Horney. These neuroses can often become overpowering and essentially tyrants is what they're referred to by Ms. Horney, inner tyrants. In the video, it's described, or a phrase that's used is, you are shoulding all of yourself, meaning what you should do, what you should have, how you should behave. And these three movements, compliance, aggression, and withdrawal, are represented in the 10 topics of neurosis that Ms. Horney described. Let me look at my notes real quick. I was really interested to see that, as opposed to other psychologists of the time or other theorists of the time, a lot of what Ms. Horney tried to do was essentially lessen the anxiety of a patient, and really focus on what is driving this patient to believe that they should do one thing or the other. It was also really interesting to kind of see how Ms. Horney's upbringing influenced her and affected her way of thinking and the way she theorized on certain subjects. But it was really enjoyable all the same.